98.7 Chatt Tech, where 98.7% of our students earn a career. On this episode, we'll explore Chattahoochee Tech's automotive program and talk with former students and some of the current instructors. So put on your seatbelts and let's ride.
Well, my name's Brian Purdyman. I'm a new automotive instructor here at Chattahoochee Tech in Marietta. Been in the business of automotive mechanics for about 20 years now. I've worked at some of the biggest fleets in the country, keeping those vehicles rolling, and picked up a lot of gasoline experience, diesel experience, hybrid experience as well. So looking forward to passing on my knowledge to our students here.
So Brian, what will the students be learning from this program?
I want people to know that they don't have to have any automotive experience at all to come here. We totally realize that a lot of people don't have a parent or an uncle or a grandfather or grandmother showing them how to change oil anymore. So we start totally from scratch. We have a very patient attitude, and we are building a program here. We have a new program coming for electric vehicles. That's going to be very exciting for us. And we start from scratch, and I work very slowly, and we take our sweet time in the labs. So the number one mistake I see with people is working way too fast. So this is a great environment to learn in because you're not under pressure from the clock, and you don't have a customer with a broken down vehicle waiting on their vehicle to be fixed. So we can relax, go at our own pace. You have plenty of time to ask questions and really dive into automotive mechanics here.
My name is Sean Davis, and I work for Weaver Brake and Tire. I graduated the automotive program and Chattahoochee Tech in 2016.
My name is Ty Long. So I'm a master technician at U-Haul at the moment. I started off fixing cars back in 2015 at my uncle's independent shop. And then I decided to go to school at Chattahoochee Tech. Went there for 2 years, graduated in 2017. After I graduated, I wanted like a schedule and have my weekends off. So I decided to go fleet maintenance instead of going to the dealership. So fleet maintenance means U-Haul, so that's where I work at the moment. Got a U-Haul, got my Master Tech cert, and I've been here since 2017, so it's been about 5-6 years now. And through that time, I've learned a lot, but there's still a lot I feel like I need to learn. But school actually helped me prepare a little better. So without it, I'd probably be like a lot worse off at the moment.
Sean, what drove you to go to Chatt Tech?
Well, I was currently residing in Kennesaw during the time of my enrollment, and I was looking for a good local automotive program that can really walk me through the steps. I've been working on cars for years and even have a family background in drag racing, but I never really took the step forward to actually go to class and go to school for it. And so I was just talking to people in the area, and they mentioned, Chattahoochee Tech and its amazing automotive program, and just happens to be local. And so I went over there and really, really liked what I saw.
What kind of things did you see that made you say, this is the place for me?
Immediately when I walked through the door, I was greeted by, numerous instructors, and Miss Geis was actually my teacher at the time before she was the dean of the program. She really just sat me down and, asked me what my expectations were, and really just gave me the feeling of confidence in the program to where I know that I'm going to learn something here, and it's not just going to be another piece of paper that you can hang on the wall. It's going to be skills that you can use, in the workplace.
My name is Larry Cardell. I work at Chattahoochee Tech as an automotive instructor. I've been there for, it'll be 8 years in October. I started out as an automotive technician back in 1986. I went to technical college under GMA SET program, which was a co-op, and I worked in the industry until I started teaching.
Can you tell us your background?
Became an ASC master technician by the time I graduated college. Became a Cadillac master technician for 3 years before moving on to different manufacturers. I'm also a Chrysler master technician, a GM master technician. Done everything in the shop from sweep floors to make extra money so I could pay bills when I was in college to manage a service department that had over a $2 million budget. If you like puzzles, if you like working with your hands, if you like not being unemployed, anybody who wants mechanical knowledge, and it transfers. It's a funny thing about knowing how things work. It's not just cars. Machines, other kinds of things you'll pick up the knowledge of as you go through. But to me, it's people who like solving problems. I love puzzles. I love doing things that engage my mind. Logical thinking, critical thinking are huge aspects of it because you basically are given a vehicle that a customer's complaining about, and you have to take all the information that the customer is giving you and all the information that the vehicle gives you and come to a conclusion as to what it's going to take to repair the vehicle and bring it back to the condition that it was in when the customer purchased it.
Can you tell us about the setup there at Chatt Tech?
Well, and that's one of the first things that I noticed is that when I walked through the door, there was, I think, 7 or 10 bays onto the left, along with a back room in the back complete with a dyno and 2 alignment racks. And I do believe we had just got on board with the Snap-on tool program. So they had several roll carts completely chock full of tools. Basically, every tool that you needed to do any job automotive was there at your fingertips. And if you needed a tool, they would get it for you. All you had to do was ask.
Ty, tell us why you decided to go to school.
So initially, I just wanted an associate degree because I just wanted something more than a high school diploma. But I'm not too big into school and going for my whole bachelor for a degree that I wasn't planning on using. So I was like, well, I'm already doing this. Might as well just get an associate degree in automotive too while I'm at it. So that was like my big reason. I just didn't want a high school diploma. I just wanted some form of higher ed, but I didn't want a bachelor with a degree in something I would never use.
My name is Matthew Fink. I teach Automotive Technology at Chattahoochee Technical College. I started teaching there in 2015, so it's been about 7 years. And before that, I worked in the automotive industry since around 2008. I've been in the industry. So automotive is a passion of mine. I've always liked cars, and that's what I jumped into as a career. So that's kind of how I got involved in the first place. Our program's designed to take any student. It doesn't matter if you've never touched a wrench before or maybe you do have some experience with cars. We start people from the ground up. So the introductory classes teach, this is what a tool is, this is what this tool does, this is how to use the equipment. And then we take the students through each section of the car. So there's classes in brakes, steering, suspension, engine performance, down the whole list. And by the end of it, you are equipped to pretty much be an entry-level technician at a dealership or independent shop, wherever the student chooses. But that's the goal, is to pass your ASE tests when you complete our program and start an entry-level position.
What makes this program unique?
So I feel like the learning environment's unique because we have a whole auto shop at our hands. We've got lifts, we've got cars, we've got tools, we've got equipment. So when you think of like classroom, what cooler of a classroom than being in an auto shop?
In this program, how much is lecture and how much is hands-on?
That'll vary a little bit depending on the particular class and the teacher. All of our classes are considered hybrid classes, which means the homework and all that stuff is done online at home. And then you come in to the school for the lab work. So I always look at it as kind of half and half. If you're on campus at school, we're most likely going to be in the lab, but there is still stuff to do at home to study and whatnot.
So Sean, why did you feel like you needed a formal education?
Well, because you can tell everybody you work on cars, and you can walk down the street and talk to the guy to your left and the guy to your right, and they're basically going to say the same thing. Oh yeah, I work on cars, or oh, I can change my oil or whatnot. But when you're getting into a professional business environment, you need to have some accreditation. You can't just walk into a shop and start turning wrenches and doing brakes, because there's a lot of liability that's involved. And if you don't at least have some sort of accreditation, then they may be hesitant to even hire you, talk to you, or even put brakes in your hand, because, working on these vehicles is very important. If you decide to overlook one thing or another, either by lack of knowledge, laziness, or, because you just don't know how to do something, then it can be catastrophic. And so these shops, they put a lot of, faith in these technicians when they apply and begin to work on people's vehicles.
How much did you know before you went to school?
So before I went to school, I knew I wouldn't even consider it fundamental now, but I could do what most people would consider fundamental. So like your basic brakes, alternators, your oil changes, and all of like the minor stuff, jobs that usually take about 2 hours less to complete. I could do all of that. Once I got into school, that's when I started learning more diag and dairy. And that doesn't sound too fun to a lot of the students because they want to do the hands-on stuff. But the dairy stuff, that actually saves you so much more time in the future because you're no longer guessing. You got this fundamental that you can use to apply to diagnostic that will actually help you save a ton of time.
My name is Taylor Smith. I work at Chattahoochee Tech Automotive Department. I've been here for 8 years this year. I teach a wide variety of topics, brakes, electrical, introduction to automotive, climate control, engine performance, basically almost anything that the college offers automotive related. I'm involved in one way or the other.
What makes this program unique?
Well, I love the program because we teach all ASE areas. ASE is Automotive Service Excellency, and it's a test that students or professionals within the industry can take to get certified in different areas. So we have an engine repair class. So a student comes in, takes an engine repair class. The goal is hopefully they'll be prepared to have a good knowledge foundation to go be able to take that test and get that certification. It is a third-party certification, so it's not something that the school issues specifically, but we teach them to prepare them to take those certification tests, and then, like I said, hopefully land a position and be able to excel. The other reason I love this program is because it is geared towards automotive technicians, but one of the things that I love about it is, and I tell students, they can come in, they could go through the program and get a job and turn a wrench for a handful of years, but maybe that's not their thing. Maybe they really like customers, right? Well, if they have a good foundation here, they can transfer what they know and start working with customers. They could be a service advisor, or maybe one day they want to be the shop manager, right? They could be a service manager, or they could be a shop foreman, which would help other technicians within the shop. Or they could go off and work for Ford Motor Company or Chevrolet, right? GMC, as a field service technician. Or they could get into parts, right? So there's lots of avenues that students can taper off from the automotive sector. And so that's why I really like this program. I just tell them, you don't have to be stuck in a box. Sure, you could turn a wrench for 50 years if you want to, right? But if you want to branch off and do other things, just knowing how the industry works and having a good foundation of how the car works, you can take that and apply it to different areas and maybe go to a different position later on down the road. So that's what I love about here. We got fantastic instructors. All the instructors are willing to help and train the students. And another cool thing about this school is we have an auto club. And the auto club is set up for anybody that's at Chattahoochee Tech. It doesn't have to be an automotive student per se, but anybody within a college that's a student here can join the auto club. So they work on little projects. We have an Exo set, we have an older Camaro, we have a Prelude that they work on. And basically, they're fixing up the cars how they want them to be. It's a student-led organization, and we as instructors can assist them with the vehicles, but they get to come in and work on a project. So that's pretty cool.
Taylor, what exactly is the ASE test and why is it so important?
ASE certifications are important because it is an industry recognized certification. It is a third-party test. ASE, they write the tests, they put them together, they offer them to automotive professionals to be able to go in and show that they have knowledge. They have a good knowledge foundation, right? And if a student gets their ASEs, then they can take those, and when they apply to various dealerships or fleets, wherever they're applying to, that just shows that dealership or that fleet that they've taken the extra time to go and pass these tests. So it is an industry recognized certification. And I encourage my students to, it's not mandatory for them to take it here at the school, but I do encourage them, hey, you finish this class, go check out that test, right? And see if you can pass it. If you need any help, by all means, come ask. I've taken thousands of tests through ASE over the years because they do eventually expire. So you need to go back and recertify from time to time. So, but having that and going into the industry, it's just another tool in your tool belt, right? The more you can get, in my opinion, the better rounded you are, the better chance that you'll have to land that position.
When I started at Chattahoochee Tech, I was working construction at the time. I did not have a job in the automotive industry. I just continued on in the automotive program. And eventually one of the teachers, Andrew Jett, taught me everything I know about electrical, asked me if I wanted a job. And so I was basically in school while starting my automotive career. And every single day when I went to automotive class, I would learn something that I would apply the next day at the shop on the shop floor. Every day was a new experience. And, whether it comes to, tires, suspension, or even pulling full engines or alignments, every single day was something that I learned and something that I could apply right then and there.
What the program teaches you is, like I was saying before, theories. So like how you would invest in tools for your toolbox, you're kind of investing in knowledge, and you use the knowledge as a tool to better perform at your job. And having the knowledge to diagnose something and getting something fixed right the first time is more valuable than knowing how to just take a part off and a part on. So anyone that wants to learn like the theories and how things work.
Okay, now the important question. How much money can you make after the automotive program?
Yeah, I'd say the sky's the limit, depending on what your goals are. If you would like to own your own shop, the income potential is very good. But with that comes a lot of business training that you need and a lot of stress from dealing with customers. But I would say starting out in this market today, I would say possibly starting at around $15. That's just my guess. But I stress in my classes, how do you negotiate for more money? How do you interview properly? How do you customize your resume so you get more callbacks? I want my students to have their choice of good jobs when they get out of here. I don't want them to feel like they have to take a job because that's the only one they could get. So I would say probably starting in the mid-teens and goes way up there, possibly past in the high 30s or more, depending on where you work.
For more information about the automotive program at Chattahoochee Tech, visit chattahoocheetech.edu. Thanks for listening to 98.7 Chat Tech, where 98.7% of our students earn a career.